Okay, Lowe's 2618, customer Morgado. This is actually a newer home, and we're doing an addition to the dining room, and that's going to be important in a minute for us to go over what that means. But in space and measurements, that is 20 inches to the edge of the trim from that corner, and from that corner to the edge of this door trim is 93 and a half. So your measurements are spot on, but it is up against a door trim. So we need to be back at least an inch, inch and a quarter from that door trim so that the countertop on the cabinet doesn't go into the door trim. The cabinets need to be about 92 and a half instead of 93 and a half, so the countertop itself doesn't cut into the trim. That would look kind of unplanned. So about an inch, inch and a half back from that trim is where we need to have all the cabinets stop at, so that the countertop that's on the countertop of the cabinets will look right. It'll come in and be where it needs to be against the trim. Now let's look at the underneath here. You've got an outlet here. That outlet is 30 inches from the corner to this side of it, to the left side. So it will be inside of a cabinet, no problem. Customer wants us to go ahead and bring that up to here, which is about center of this switch. That's 44 inches to the center of that switch, to the center of that outlet. So whatever that, whatever we do, we want to make sure that outlet is the same height as this switch, or it will not look right. So then the second thing is they want us to go ahead and jump out of that box and go up to 92 inches, because the upper cabinet's top alignment will be 90. The customer's decided to keep 36 inches as the upper cabinet because that's what she has in her kitchen, and she likes the height of that. She doesn't want it to be too tall, because that other outlet that we're going to put up high, 92 inches to the bottom of the box, and turn the outlet sideways, is where we're going to put like some Christmas decorations and stuff like that up on top. So she wants to have room for that stuff to show on top of the cabinets. Now, what I was talking about as far as being relevant to this being a dining room is, see all the chairs? From 16 inches setting, looking up at the bottom of the cabinet, the bottom of the cabinet's going to be a natural maple finish, and I showed her that in her kitchen. So she would rather that have a more formal finished look to it, which means the bottom of the cabinets need to be finished as an interior finish, or they need to be skinned. The bottom of the cabinets need to be skinned. Now they make a bottom panel called a UEP, under end panel, I think is what it's called. It's kind of a weird name, but it is a trimmed finish panel that cuts and goes on the bottom of the cabinet that KraftMaid makes. Has a little finished edge on the front of it and all that, but you want to get that panel to panel the bottom of these cabinets so we don't have all those filler holes showing, because again, you're going to be looking, see over there we've got furniture, you're going to be looking like a furniture piece in this room. So we don't want to have that utility look of all those holes and stuff underneath the cabinets. Now, the other thing about this is the bottom cabinets are 18 inches deep. Again, that's 20 inches from the corner to the edge of the trim. So that's going to give you 18 inches, 19 inches to the front of the drawer front. That'll give you that depth of your countertop to about 19 and a quarter, 19 and a half, and we still don't get into the trim. So again, that's good as far as the depth. We went over the fact that the drawer on the front to back depth of that drawer will only be about 15 inches deep because of this chase space behind it. So even though you got an 18-inch reduced depth cabinet, the drawer front to back will only be about 15 inches deep. There's about 3 inches behind those drawers, and I showed her that in the front room as well. Now, the last thing to talk about is, again, your top alignment is going to be up here at about 90 inches. It's 102 to the bottom of that molding up there, and it's a 108 to the ceiling. So when we look at height, 36-inch cabinet's a perfect height. The front of these doors, she wants to do a clear glass in those. And if you look over here at that piece of furniture that's going to stay in the room, it has a clear glass with a mullion as well. And then the other thing is, by shortening this cabinet about an inch or two, you can also do a decorative end panel here on the end and a decorative end panel on the base. And then the last thing is the toe kick. We would probably order this with a wide rail kitchen, WRK, no toe kick on the bottom. It's a extended bottom style, so that we can do like an OG pilaster or baseboard. See the baseboard that's here on the wall? We can have an OG pilaster or baseboard. If we're an inch back from that molding, it'll drive right into the side right here and look really nice and clean right up against the molding of the door. Run that down the side, run that across the front. We've got us a nice finished base cabinet. All right, on the upper cabinets, customer would like to have those increased depth to 14 inches. So we went in the kitchen, we looked at her 12-inch deep cabinets. The 12-inch depth cabinets are 11 1/4 or so interior. She's got some pieces that will not fit in that she's planning on displaying in these cabinets. So we definitely want to do the cabinets at 14 inches deep instead of 12. If there's no price difference, 18 inches or 15 inches deep is great. But it's got to do, I think it has to do with incremental by inch. So talk to her about that, but we definitely want at least 14 inches deep so that some of these whatnots and different things she's putting in her display case will fit, okay? Besides that, these modifications for the wiring, that's going to be a 14 gauge with ground wire there. So we need a 25 foot piece of Romex cable, 14-2 with ground. And then we're going to need pop-in box with a receptacle and plate cover. These are white receptacles, white plate covers. Going to need 2 pop-in boxes, I should say, 2 receptacles, 2 plate covers for the top and bottom area. So that needs to be part of the materials list for this. And then as far as the cabinets go, always remember we need to have that extra touch-up kit. Always remember we need to have extra scribe molding. Make sure we have extra cut-to-length molding on the crown. And then also make sure that we have an extra 6x42 filler just in case we need something because of a color discoloration or something. If you have any questions about this, restrictor clips, because that's going to be right up against that molding. We definitely need a pack of restrictor clips against the right-hand wall. If you have any questions about this one, it seems pretty straightforward, but for sure I can make things complicated. Give me a call at 423-650-1051. I'm going to give you a picture here of the notes to this. Turn it around like that. There we go. And if you have any questions about those, feel free to give me a call so we can go over them. Have a good day.